Most people with high-functioning autism and Asperger's syndrome don't look disabled. People don't look at us and think that we're not capable of holding down a full-time job. But most of us can't, and here's why. Usually when we get our jobs, we are happy at the beginning, we're upbeat, we're excited to be there. And ironically, sometimes in our interviews, we're so hyper-focusing on practicing our social skills well, they may have even called you like a good communicator or something, or really complimented you in the interview. You might chat with your coworkers, you might get complimented for your work, but you might miss a few things. But you're doing such a good job because you're trying so hard at the beginning that they forgive you for it. And people try to help you when they can. And for a little while, things are going good, and then things get harder. The work piles on, you start making mistakes, you might lose something or misplace something, send a poorly worded email to your boss, and you realize that all the neurotypical people around you are working faster than you are. Also, multitasking usually kills us off pretty quickly. We cannot multitask if you're neurodivergent. So, you'll probably wind up asking your supervisor for help, and then you realize you've been asking your supervisor for a lot of help lately, especially with sequential tasks that require multiple steps, and your supervisor is getting annoyed with you and says something like, you need to work more independently. But if you do try to work more independently and don't ask for help, then they'll say something to you like, you need to show more initiative. And so you're stuck between a rock and a hard place. You're screwed either way, and you're definitely not handling this well. A few weeks in, maybe even a few days in, you stop making small talk with your coworkers because you just don't have the energy for it anymore. And your coworkers were pretty nice to you at the beginning, and now they're avoiding you like the plague, and they're giving important assignments to other people. And you're aware that you probably look really unhappy to be there. You're disinterested, probably vaguely creepy, because we always come off like that to people. What's sad is, there's nothing you can do to look more interested or less creepy. Usually by this point in your job as an autistic person, you're probably getting a lot less sleep than you used to, which means you're having a hard time focusing. And you probably already had a hard time focusing anyway, because if you have autism, you probably a good chance you have ADHD as well. Before, when you didn't have a job, you would use your free time to relax and recuperate and get your energy back from all the little daily tasks that take so much energy out of us autistic people that neurotypical people can do with ease. But now that you work, you have to spend your free time doing your chores and other important things. And most autistic people have very bad executive functioning issues that make simple things like balancing a checkbook or cleaning your house very exhausting. And usually our chores are what we need to recuperate from, let alone getting yelled at because you typed the wrong numbers on a spreadsheet at your shitty job. You'll start feeling worthless at your job, and you're the few friends you have who are probably also neurodivergent who make you feel like you have any value. Well, you don't have any time to see them because you're so preoccupied either with this job or recovering from the job on your free time. You're just way too tired all the time to socialize. And at a certain point, it becomes clear to you that you just need to sleep. You're so exhausted and sleep deprived. You start calling in sick. You might even doze off at work. And, when people aren't gossiping about you or talking about how creepy you are, they may even become concerned for you because you're probably starting to look sick from all the sleep deprivation and stress. You try to tell yourself something like you're going to get through your job, your workday one day at a time, take things one step at a time, and no one confronts you about your poor performance, but you have a pretty good idea that it's worse than you think it is. And you also are too exhausted now to mask and regulate your social behavior. You start stimming at work, you wring your hands or twirl your hair, you stare at people when you're tired, you stare them down while you're stimming. No one talks to you, and you don't blame them at this point, because you probably look creepy as hell all of the time. And then you make a really big mistake, like misquoting someone if you're in the media, or a giant glitch in programming that causes someone to lose money, or you say the wrong thing to a very wrong person, or it could be just a ton of little mistakes that just keep adding up. And usually at this point, you'll probably either quit due to exhaustion. A lot of autistic people work for a while, then quit their job and recuperate, then work again and go through phases of high hope and then complete burnout. But you're probably just going to get fired.